Welcome back to the deep dive. So if you're a tradesman, a plumber, a roofer, an HVAC specialist, somewhere like the Texas Panhandle, you know the daily grind. It's intense.
Oh, absolutely. You're juggling what volatile supply costs, trying to coordinate crews all over places like Amarillo,
You're a
Pampa,
Borger, and you're always fielding those urgent calls.
all day long.
We want to cut through all of that noise today. We're here to deliver a playbook that's designed to solve, really, the biggest growth problem you probably face. You've hit a ceiling right there in your hometown.
That's the wall everyone hits eventually.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's say you dominate Pampa. You're getting every reasonable job lead in your main neighborhoods in Amarillo. What happens then?
Growth just stalls out. It plateaus.
Exactly. And you can't afford to hire new crews. You can't expand the fleet unless you can reliably and predictably generate new demand.
In those new service areas,
Yeah.
like Canyon, Borger, maybe even Dumas.
Right. And nobody wants to just start throwing thousands of dollars at digital ads and, hoping something sticks.
That guesswork, that scattergun approach, as you put it, is exactly what the source material for this deep dive is built to eliminate.
And that source is the Texion marketing master marketing strategy.
Right. And their whole philosophy is something they call the WYSIWYG Promise. What you see is what you get.
I like that. So what does it mean for a tradesman on the ground?
It just means transparency, predictability in the results. The whole framework, it isn't built on, vanity metrics. It's about scaling one thing.
Just one.
One thing that truly matters. Reliable lead call volume. This is not about having a pretty website. It's a systematic, two-phase operation to make sure every single dollar spent on expansion is maximized.
So we're looking at phase 1, which is foundational stabilization, and that's followed by phase 2, regional expansion.
And it has to be in that order. It's a mandatory sequence.
Okay, let's get into the specifics. For a contractor who's already swamped running calls, why is phase I, stabilizing the local foundation, so non-negotiable? Why can't they just jump to expansion?
Because if that foundation is weak, your expansion money isn't just inefficient. It's actively destructive to your profit margin.
Destructive. How so?
Well, if your website and your local listings aren't perfect in your home city, every single dollar you spend advertising in the next town over is going to massively inflate your cost per qualified lead, your CPL.
Let's pause there for a second. We're going to use that term CPL a lot. For the busy contractor listening, can you just define that simply?
Absolutely. The CPL is it's your efficiency factor.
Yep.
It's the total dollars you spend on marketing, SEO, ads, all of it, divided by the number of actual qualified job leads you get from it.
So if I spend $500 to get one service call.
That's a high CPL, a very high CPL. The whole goal of phase I is to get that cost down to its absolute minimum right there in your home area first.
And the first step in that direction is making sure the website isn't a brochure, but what the source calls the tradesman lead machine website. What are the key technical parts?
This is so critical. The site is a lead conversion tool. And that means you had to be obsessed with conversion rate optimization, or CRO.
Okay, break that down.
Think about it. A homeowner in Amarillo, a pipe just burst. They're on their phone, they're frantic.
Yep.
If they have to hunt for a phone number or, God forbid, fill out some long form, they're gone.
They're just hitting the back button and calling your competitor.
Precisely. So CRO means you're maximizing every single visitor. You've got prominent tap-to-call buttons, super simple forms asking for the bare minimum.
Speed is a big part of that too, right?
Oh, speed is vital. If the site for emergency plumber Pampa TX takes even 3 extra seconds to load on a 4G connection, you don't just lose that one lead. That customer is calling 3 other places before you even see their inquiry.
So a slow site is literally costing you money.
In inflated CPL and in just wasted crew management time, it's a killer.
So once that lead machine is tuned up, we get into the really technical part, hyper-local SEO mastery. And this is where that dreaded consistency audit comes in.
The NAP audit. I mean, it sounds boring, but it is the true bedrock of local authority.
NAP being name, address, phone number.
Right. And Google's local algorithm, it demands perfect, identical consistency across every digital footprint. Your Google business profile, your website footer, your Yelp page.
So if one says St. Saint and another says street.
That's a problem, a big one. Google gets confused and your ranking it suffers.
Wow. That sounds like an incredible amount of just grueling manual data work. How does a small business even manage that?
Well, that's where they bring in a specialized AI, not a general content AI, but a tool like Notebook LM.
Notebook LM. How does that help?
Its strength is organizing these huge non-creative data sets. It takes all those audit findings, all
Right.
the listing snapshots, and it just makes sure every data point is tracked and verified.
So it's like a compliance officer.
That's a great way to put it. It saves dozens of hours of manual cross-checking, and it ensures everything's perfectly consistent.
And that clarifies the tech use. It's about organization and compliance, not copywriting. What about the actual content on the site during the stabilization phase?
You have to be surgical.
Yeah.
In Phase I, you only create dedicated search-optimized pages for services you currently offer in locations you already serve.
For example.
A page for water heater repair Amarillo. Super specific. This kind of focused content is what helps you just nail that local map pack ranking.
So what's the green light? How does a tradesman know it's time to move from phase 1 to phase 2? They don't just get bored of Pampa.
Right? No, it's all data-driven. This is the WYSIWYG guarantee. You only move to Phase 2 when local ranking is stable. You're consistently in the top 3 of the map pack, and that lead call volume from your main area hits a specific, measured benchmark.
So there's no guesswork.
It totally eliminates the risk of expanding too soon.
Here's where it gets really interesting. We've got local stabilization, we've lowered our CPL, and now it's time to launch phase 2 regional expansion. And the goal now is to use that authority to systematically go after high-value calls in places like Dumas or Borger.
And this is where so many tradesmen who try to do this themselves, this is where they fail.
Why is that?
They just assume the authority they built up in Amarillo will just magically transfer over to Borger.
And it doesn't?
No. Google's proximity algorithm just doesn't work that way. If you want to rank for Borger HVAC, you need content that is specifically tailored for Borger.
So we're talking about a targeted geospecific content strategy, building brand new location landing pages. What kind of detail are we talking about for, say, an HVAC Repair Canyon TX page?
It has to feel hyper-local, like truly genuine and relevant. You can't just copy the Amarillo page and swap the city name.
Google will see right through that.
Instantly. Yeah. The Canyon page, it needs to mention specific Canyon landmarks. It should probably discuss common local issues. Maybe the unique dust there affects HVAC systems differently. And ideally, it features testimonials from actual Canyon residents.
It has to scream, we don't just serve Canyon, we understand Canyon.
That's it exactly.
That seems like a huge content creation lift, though. Writing these unique, deep narratives for every single service in every new town.
Yeah.
How do they scale that?
This is the game changer. This is the acceleration that Gemini provides.
Okay, so Notebook LM handled the technical stuff. Gemini handles the content.
But in a very specific way. It's about scaling the structure of successful narratives. For example, let's say you did a really complex commercial roof replacement in Pampa. It was a huge success. That becomes a detailed case study.
Okay.
You feed that narrative structure, the problem, the solution, the technical specs, the client, quote. You feed that structure into Gemini. Then you tell it to adapt that authoritative structure for a new location.
So it's not writing from scratch.
No, it's localizing the core credibility. It's transforming that Pampa success story into an authoritative template for a new Borger roofing page. It keeps the high-value narrative, but wraps it in Borger-specific language and context.
That would dramatically cut down the time it takes to establish authority in a new market. But, even with amazing content, organic SEO can take months. How do they get leads now in Dumas while those pages are still climbing the ranks?
That's where hyperlocal pay-per-click, PPC, comes in. It's the immediate lead strategy.
And the source emphasizes precision here.
Extreme precision. The ads are launched only inside the new city's geo-fenced boundaries.
So if I'm in Amarillo, I won't ever see the ad for Dumas service.
Never. You're only paying for clicks from customers who are physically inside Dumas. And again, they use Gemini here to draft that laser-focused ad copy.
Which drives traffic to the new landing pages.
To those new conversion-optimized regional pages. It maximizes your clicks to calls and keeps that all-important CPL low, even when you're starting fresh in a new town.
Okay, so there's one last puzzle piece for expansion. That map pack ranking. Even with great Borger content, your office is still in Amarillo. How do you get Google to show you in the Borger map pack?
That is the single greatest challenge of regional expansion. You need local social proof.
Reviews.
Yes. The strategy mandates active, systematic review acquisition in the new areas. The crew is guided to ask for reviews from customers in Borger, in Dumas, in Canyon. That constant stream of local feedback tells Google, yes, this business really is satisfying people right here.
And they use AI to reinforce that signal in the follow-up too, right?
Absolutely. They keep using Gemini to draft SEO-optimized public responses to those new reviews. So instead of just thanks, the response is something like,
Glad we could complete your emergency sewer repair in Dumas, TX. We look forward to servicing the Dumas community again soon.
exactly. It reinforces that new service area in the public record for everyone and for the search engine to see.
So what does this all mean for that busy tradesman? We've gone through this complex system. It's driven by technical compliance. It's accelerated by AI. But at the end of the day, they need clarity, not spreadsheets. What are the core indicators they focus on with that WYSIWYG promise?
The reporting is streamlined down to just three things. Business outcomes. First, the most obvious one, lead call volume.
Simple enough.
It's the ultimate metric. How many actual phone calls and qualified forms are coming in, period.
Okay, direct. What's number 2?
Local map pack ranking visibility. Are they consistently in the top 3 for the most valuable searches? This just confirms the Phase I work is holding up and the Phase 2 content is starting to work in the new regions.
And finally, that efficiency measure.
That's the cost per qualified lead, the CPL. It tracks efficiency across both phases. Is the expansion actually profitable? Or are the new PPC campaigns just draining cash? The goal is to always be working to stabilize and reduce that cost. That's what makes growth predictable and profitable.
This whole playbook, it's a phenomenal roadmap. It systematically takes a business from a local plateau to efficient, predictable regional expansion all across the Texas Panhandle. It really proves that scaling doesn't have to be a gamble.
It just has to be sequential and data-driven.
Yeah.
The structure is everything.
Yeah.
You stabilize the foundation, you ensure that technical compliance, and then you systematically scale that authority into new markets using precision content and specialized AI tools to accelerate it.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the playbook for regional tradesman expansion.
My pleasure.
The power of this strategy, it really seems to rest on leveraging an AI like Gemini, not for just, generic fluff, but for adapting these core high-authority narrative structures like a successful case study and instantly localizing them. If AI can establish that level of credibility and authority so quickly, how long before purely local, non-AI-assisted businesses are just completely outpaced? It really raises a fundamental question about the future speed of growth and, well, competition in local services, something for you to consider as you plan your next move.